Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the Brooks Ghost Max 3. My initial plan was actually to do the bada boom, bada bang, bada bop with the Ghost Max OG, the Ghost Max 2, and the Ghost Max 3, but now the family is back and everything, and I know if I go up there to go get the OG and the 2, I don't know if I'm gonna come back down, so I just have to keep it going and knock out the intro with just the 3. But this is the latest update to Brooks's reliable comfort workhorse everyday running shoe line. Now, if you're looking for a new daily trainer, maybe this or the Mega Blast, which we just did a lot of coverage on, or you're looking for a speed shoe or a race shoe like the Sky Tokyo, you got to make sure you're on the Supwell app. So Supwell app is my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. I started it so you didn't have to pay full price. You didn't have to pay MSRP on a running shoe. So here's how it works. Somebody might get a shoe like this or the Mega Blast, and I have seen some more Mega Blast. Just yesterday, I started seeing 2 or 3 going up, so we'll see more of those coming on the app. And if they don't work for somebody, they'll list them and get some of their money back. So they list them for well below MSRP after they put 1 or 2 runs on them, or maybe they have 2 pairs and they list their backup pair. So if you're looking to save money on running shoes, if you're looking to be connected with the best community of hobby joggers getting after it daily, if you're looking for a space that will keep you accountable and motivated, get in with us on the Supwell app and enjoy today's video. All right, man, we are back today, back on that shoe tube grind. I don't even know if I want to call it a shoe tube grind anymore or just a shoe review grind in general, because what I'm realizing is, and what's starting to happen is the shoe reviews and the stuff we're putting out on shoes is no longer constrained to shoe tube. So while at the same time I'm not able to really get any views on YouTube for things other than shoes, we've been able to extend the shoe review insights to other channels. So it's more of a horizontal play. It's more of the horizontally integrated domination, where now every channel, SEO, Instagram, newsletter, not TikTok yet, but shoe reviews just everywhere. Just everywhere you turn, there's a stack in your face. You go here, bang, there might be some Piba in your face. You log onto your Instagram account, there might be a big chunk of supercritical EVA in your face. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the training on YouTube, but that's not working yet. And then on the website, man, so it's been really cool actually, and this is the reason why I did want to get the Brooks Ghost Max 3. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods yesterday, and I picked it up. I didn't even use my own Running Warehouse affiliate link. By the way, I should get my coffee out of here. I'm sipping the Diego Horta today, anaerobic natural. So good. Got a plug named Diego. It's the Max Cushion gang, bro. You know, whatever I say, go. All right, nah, we're not doing that. But yeah, I wanted to go pick this shoe up here, the Ghost Max 3. This is the Ghost Max 2. This is actually the Ghost Max 2 special edition. It's the dad drip version. But because someone messaged me on Instagram and said, bro, I've been loving the Supwell.com shoe database, and I used to push it every day. So now I say the bada boom, bada bang, bada bop, sign up for the Supwell app. I used to talk about runningshoematcher.com, and I used to talk about how there's the shoe database, and you can go there and sift through all the shoes, and that's still there, and it's 100% free. And this dude told me he's been using it. He works at a running store, and he's been using it to get insights on all the shoes that he doesn't run in so that he can give sound advice to customers. And so he showed it to one of his colleagues, and then the owner of the running store saw it, and now she's promoting it to all the employees to use it. So that was really cool to me to see, man, what I've been working on for the past 2.5 years every day is actually providing insights to people and is a valuable resource to people. So for me, that validates these days where we got to eat our vegetables and pop out with the shoe like the Ghost Max 3, which is not the most exciting thing on YouTube. It's not the new shiny object. Even when it was new, it wasn't the most exciting thing. But We get it. We can give the insights on the website, and we can be that reliable resource for running shoes. Non-biased, independent. We buy every single shoe ourselves here. And somebody actually left this really apt comment on the Mega Blast review. They said, man, if anyone should be upset over the price of running shoes, it's you, because you buy more shoes at full price with your own money than anybody else. And that's actually probably true, at least in the shoe review space. I'm sure there's somebody out there who buys more shoes for themselves. But we do buy all these shoes with our own money. We do the independent testing, and we're starting to see it is a very valuable resource for people to have that trustworthy site. And man, if you look at the success of Consumer Reports in the regular consumer space, and what I've learned too with Consumer Reports, which is cool, they don't just review products. They've actually done class action lawsuits. They've actually gotten real policies pushed through. They got some policies pushed through with the kids, the Lunchable kits, that there couldn't be certain ingredients in those. So man, independent testing and advocacy, it can have valuable effects on the way that people interact with these products, make their purchasing decisions, and hold these brands accountable. And that's my whole goal with that. I think you can look at it, and sometimes I can look at it and get cynical and say, it's just running shoes. Who cares? All these shoes are fine. The Ghost Max is fine. Somebody could get that and run 30 minutes in it. But then on the other side, man, there are some of these shoes that can transform somebody's running. A good shoe can make or break your entire running journey, and somebody's got to hold these gosh dang companies accountable. Capitalism will not work if we don't have the independent voices. So it's good to refocus, double down on what we're doing. It's fun to have a shoe like the Mega Blast. That's this crazy banger. And if it were just me and I didn't have the channel, I would just be running in that thing for all my daily runs, and maybe I'd pick one of these shoes to run my recovery runs in. But it's not, and I'm realizing that, and we got to keep it rolling. So we have the Brooks Ghost Max 3 today. We're going to eat our vegetables. Not the most exciting shoe, but it is in a category of shoes that I personally really like. So this is the pure comfort category of shoes, and it's such a comfort-oriented category of shoes that these brands also have lifestyle versions of these shoes. So this is the Ghost Max 2 SE. They put this cool lifestyle upper on it. I never actually loved the 2 SE as much as the OG. The OG shoe, if you've been around following the channel for a while, you know the Brooks Ghost Max OG was my favorite walking shoe of all time. There's now been one shoe coming in here that might be dethroning this. This is the Nimbus 27 TR. I've been wearing this almost every day. We actually went to a construction site on Sunday. I found this construction site near my house. It's about a 7-minute drive away. We can off-road into it. Don't tell anybody. We can off-road into it with the Jeep, and they have all these cool construction vehicles. So I took Reevesy and Mace there. So I took this there. It's all dirty and everything, so you can see the shoes getting dirty. I don't let my regular shoes or my running shoes get dirty, but it's nice. It's a privilege for me to be able to get a shoe like this dirty, because I know it's not an asset for the channel. This is just purely for my enjoyment, and I do have another colorway of the Nimbus just for running. But this one might be rivaling the OG Ghost Max for me in terms of the comfort. It has a very moderate drop feeling. It is 8mm drop. The foam is nice and squishy without being too soft. The roll is beautiful, and it doesn't get as just mushy underfoot as something like the New Balance. So that's been the thing with the Ghost Max and the standard Ghost 2, but in the Ghost Max series, they want you to have this soft cushion without it being the softest thing ever. So Ghost Max 2, this one right here, and I do have another colorway that's white, just the standard running one without the lifestyle upper. It was a bigger runner champion, man. This was an underground hit. This was a hidden gem, really solid shoe. I had a lot of good runs in it, and it has this durable, robust, reliable feel, great roll, supercritical EVA, which is one of the best training foams out there. I guess I have to say now, one of the best last-gen training foams, because we saw Asics come through with the Mega Blast, which has the ATPU foam, and completely reset our expectations on what we can expect. Expectations for what we can expect. Let's just roll with it. From a training foam, because that has a very similar feel to this with the speed, which is why I was just obsessed, addicted, all sorts of different types of words, attracted to that shoe. It's a really good shoe. But with this category, what you want and what I want is no nonsense comfort. That's what it's all about. So another shoe that came through recently, just looking at the market this year, Saucony Hurricane 25. very stable. They actually made this less of a stability shoe than in the 24. They've lightened up the weight. They have this top layer of Power Run PB, which has some of the spirit of a race foam with the bounce. Great curve. It's a 6mm drop, so less of an offset between the front and the back. Nice lightweight upper, and it rolls along really well. I just don't run in this category of shoes all that much. The more standard comfort shoes, I personally, with the mileage that I run, would prefer something amped up like a Glide Ride Max or the Nimbus. So Nimbus is my personal favorite out of this category of shoes. Should I go get hold on, let me go get my running Nimbus. Let me get the running Nimbus. Yes, this is my running Nimbus right here. The other version I have, this actually has the trail outsole, the TR, so I like it for going on walks in the park and everything, and just a different feel. But Nimbus is my favorite of the standard 170 and below 170 USD max cushion shoes, personally, because it does give me the soft sinking and squish without getting too mushy. Really nice ride, nice and smooth. Another great one that I did put a lot of miles in, which is rare for me in this category, is the Bondi. So this is the Hoka Bondi 9 Goldilocks Zone Foam, slightly on the firmer side and a very similar feel to the Brooks Ghost Max 2. The difference is this is $175, and all these shoes went up in price in these latest generations. The Ghost Max went up from $150 in the 2 and the 1 to $160 in the 3. And man, I was at Dick's yesterday buying this, and I bought another shoe that's, I think, $140 USD, and I look at the screen when it's time to pay, and it says $320 or something like that with taxes. I said, what? It's just the Ghost and this other shoe, and it's $300 and something. So the shoes are expensive, and where I get upset about the price is if it doesn't feel like it's worth it. If they're raising the price even $10 or $5 and they're not giving us anything new, that's where I get upset. If it's $225 and it's the greatest running shoe of all time, I'm not going to be upset. But this is $175. Some of the Hokas are more expensive, but it is a really good shoe right here. It's stacked. You can run in it. You can walk in it. Very comfortable. It is what I call the absence of anything bothersome. Very similar to the Brooks Ghost Max OG. So this is the shoe that started the entire OG or entire Ghost Max franchise. You can see it's got this black dirt on it. The foam is falling apart. This is one of my most beat up shoes because I only ran about 50 miles in it, but I used this every day. I used it as a lawn shoe. I used it as a round town beater. Just such a comfortable shoe. I traveled in it, took it through all sorts of gas stations in random southern United States. It's just a banger. So Bondi is another shoe that I liked that fit the slot of this. Nimbus as well. Nimbus is a touch softer, but Goldilocks Zone Foam, it just conforms to the shape of your foot. Great roll, takes all the pressure off, and no weirdness. So that's the number one thing I look for in this category. Beyond bounce and excitement is no weirdness. I don't want the toe box to be too narrow. I don't want it to feel like there's something poking up in my arch. This category of shoes is all about comfort without distraction. So two more shoes we can highlight quickly before we open it up that are in this category. Vomero 18. This is $155. This is the Nike competitor here. What sets this one apart is the 10mm drop. So you have a 10mm difference between the front and the back. And as with a lot of Nike shoes, the forefoot feels a lot closer to the ground. So regardless of what they're saying the drop is, if you look at something like the Bondi 9, just look up close right here, up where the toes are. You get so much more foam. Nike aggressively tapers right here, and that creates a platform that is easier to drive force through the front if you need to do some pace pickups. But for some people, especially forefoot strikers at more relaxed paces, can feel like it's not that cushioned. I also don't love this for longer runs. The React X foam on the bottom can feel like it gets tired. Now, the newest entrant here, this one is $180, and I would even put it one category above. This would compete more with the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. This would compete more with the Puma Mag Max, but I did want to bring it out because it's the latest and greatest. It's the most exciting shoe to drop this summer in this category, or I guess last summer, or the summer that just passed because it's now the fall. But this is the Nike Vomero Plus. I've liked this one for running. It's very similar to the Nimbus with a firmer foam feel. So that's an overview of the category. So many great max cushion shoes out there, all about pure comfort. This one does feel like more of a running specific shoe than a running and a walking in terms of what you're going to get out of the Vomero Plus. The Ghost Max is very much designed to be both running and walking, no frills, straight down the center of the plate. So with that, let us open it up and see how this bad boy looks. All right, man. Brooks Ghost Max 3. Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. All right, here we go. Very standard looking shoe. I have no problems with it. I actually think they've made it look slightly worse. Not a ton worse, but just slightly worse with each generation of it. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the lines. It just doesn't look as crisp and clean. All right, so look at this. OG, very clean looking midsole. Right, there's not a lot of excess going on. It's just in this colorway right here, you can see the green accents are throwing you off. And then the 2, this one looks kind of cool because it has the lifestyle upper. But again, look, unnecessary squiggle on the midsole. And then in the 3, they decided to go geometric with it. And now this one almost looks like an Adrenaline GTS. So whereas the first one, I could rock this around. The second one, they went lifestyle. The third one, this very much looks like a performance running shoe. So main updates here, it's really just the aesthetics. I'm trying to see. Let's see. And should I get my normal? I should get my normal one. Hold on. All white, like I got the whole thing bleached. So yeah, let's take a look at these. Uppers, very similar. Tongue padding, very similar. Fit around the bag, very similar. And I can understand why they did that, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's really, that was nothing that was wrong with the Ghost Max 2. But for me, I was actually debating whether or not I buy this shoe in general. And the reason I did is because I want to be able to test everything. I want Supwell to be the place where, you know, you can get the reviews on the 95% of the shoes out there that are the most popular ones. So that's why I bought it. That's why I'm going to buy the Mach X3, even though it's just an upper update. But for most people out there, I'm just really not sure if it's worth getting this or just getting an older pair of the Ghost Max 2, because there's very little wrong with the Ghost Max 2 in terms of the material and the ride that it was delivering. And if there were something wrong with the Ghost Max 2, it wouldn't really be addressed in the Ghost Max 3 because they're using the same midsole foam, the same geometry, etc. It is purely, to me right now, an aesthetic update. So I'm just really trying to see here. Foam, yeah, foam feels identical. It's still that supercritical EVA. You get good rubber coverage on the bottom here. See versus the last one, yeah, very similar. It's just, look at that. It's just aesthetically, it's laid out the same exact way. It's more geometric and angular on the 3. It's swoopier on the 2. The uppers feel very similar. Oh, why is there, what the heck? There's dirtiness on the upper. Is the base slightly wider? Yeah, there's really so little I can tell that is different with these shoes. I think we just have to get the specs. All right, Ghost Max. Let's start it off with the OG. We'll do a weigh-in here to see, has it gotten lighter over time? So the OG, 309.3 grams. That's solid. That's actually really solid. That's not the lightest weight ever, but it's also not the heaviest ever. If you want to take a look at what a heavy shoe is, I didn't even bring this one out in that intro, but this is the New Balance More V6. Man, just a heavy clunky shoe, 329 grams, extremely comfortable for walking. This foam is just so soft. If you want to feel like you're floating on pillows or on clouds, this is a great shoe for walking. I would not recommend this for running because it just completely saps all of your energy and gives nothing back. It's like if you took the Nimbus, made it heavier, and removed any of the bounce. You'd be left with the More V6. And you can see how heavy it is at just about 330 grams in my size. But 309 in the OG. If we take a look at the 2 here, this is the non-lifestyle version, just the regular running version. Man, heavy. They even went up heavier. That's crazy. I forgot about that. They put it just as heavy as the More V6. That is wild. But the thing is, though, this actually has bounce versus the More V6. I'm not getting much. So this one, you do get the bounce of protection, but still very heavy. Wow. Let's take a look at the Vomero Plus versus that, because this is a much taller shoe. Yeah, 313 grams. Same thing with the Nimbus. 317 grams. So the Ghost Max, we'll wait or do the stack check in a second. I'm pretty sure it's around 36 or 37 millimeters in the back versus these other shoes like the Vomero Plus and the Nimbus. They're more around 40 or above 40. So that's not a great weight to stack ratio. Now let us see if they clean that up in the new release. It still feels pretty heavy. Let's see. Yeah, 326 grams. So still a heavy shoe. Now, one of the benefits of this category, or one of the things that you want to look for, is a shoe that just feels good to run in. For me, that shoe where I can always count on it if I'm feeling banged up is the Puma Mag Max. So it doesn't really matter how heavy a shoe is if it's giving you that injury prevention feel or the confidence to just go out there and know you're going to be running pain-free miles. So if that's what you're getting out of the Ghost or the Ghost Max, I can understand why you might still want it, even though it is on the heavier side. Let's see, is there any other shoe? Yeah, let's take a look at the Saucony Hurricane 25. So one of the recent shoes that came out that's a competitor, they managed to get the weight down on this so much. 311 grams. The last generation was closer to 330. I think this is actually one of the best updates of the year because Saucony retained everything that was good with the Hurricane 24, and then they improved all of the things that were problematic. So having the fit be too snug, having the weight be too high, maybe the foam didn't feel exactly as dialed in. They cleaned all that up. Perfect update. Whereas the Ghost Max 3, and the reason I held off on buying it for so long, it's the same shoe. It's like one of those Sidekick. You remember the T-Mobile Sidekick? You could just put the different cases on it. It would make it look different. That's what this is. You're just paying for a new Sidekick case. Man, I'm worried that this might be going in the mid category. It's just feels like it's trending in that direction. Just from the specs and everything. I'm sure it's an excellent walking shoe. I don't know, man. All right, let's do a stack check on the OG Ghost Max after a ton of use. I don't know, 200, 300, 400 miles. If we put all the walking and everything on it, it would probably convert to about 270 running miles with all the use. So let's see. Wow, that's low, man. After all that use, 33.5 millimeters in the back. Let's take a look at the Ghost Max 2. And the Ghost Max 2, it does feel slightly overbuilt in the back with all the padding and everything. That was one of the issues that people had with it. It just feels like a unnecessarily big shoe in some cases. Yep. Just like I said, 36 millimeters. That is not a good stack to weight ratio. Having it be down at 36 millimeters with such a tall weight. For some context here, or such a high weight, let's take a look at the Vomero Plus. This is a spoiler alert because I need to do the 100-mile review on it soon. But we can see where it is now. Probably 80, around 80-something miles. Yeah, 41 millimeters. And this guy was lighter than the Ghost Max 2. And the whole thing with the weight and the foam, it's not always that more foam is better, but if you can get excellent protection, like in the Vomero Plus, with the lighter weight, why would you not want that? Now, there's other variables, of course, the ride, the geometry, the weight, but just purely talking about the midsole compound itself, that's what you're paying for in a shoe like the Vomero Plus, which is $180 versus a shoe like the Ghost Max at $160, which is a more standard training foam. You're paying for the lighter foam. You're paying for the more advanced technology. What's in the Ghost Max 3 here is not advanced technology. This supercritical EVA has been around for quite some time. So what you're getting is reliability. This is the Honda Accord or the Toyota Camry, right? What would the American brand equivalent be? What car brand is Brooks? Are they Ford or Chevy? Are they GM? They don't even have sedans anymore. So is this the Chevy Equinox? Oh, gosh. That's not what you want, the Chevy Equinox. All right, this is coming in at 37.2 on the right side. Oh, I realized I didn't do the QA check with the weight, so I'll do that in a second. Oh, no, that was the left side. That was 37.2. This is the right side right now. Stack check. Boom. 37.1. So put together really well. Brooks has a reputation for doing that. But, yeah, just in terms of as a pure performance running shoe, weight isn't everything, but 37 millimeters with a, what was the weight again? Let's get it on the right side here. 37 millimeters with a 326 gram weight. That is not competitive at all when it comes to the max cushion category. And it's not like this is so much cheaper than everything else out there. The Nimbus is $165. The Bondi is $175. That is $15 cheaper. But yeah, it's not like this is some crazy deal. So you are getting a heavier shoe with a last generation foam. We could even potentially call this outdated. Is this foam outdated now? I don't know, but it all comes down to how it feels out there on the ride, right? If it's smooth, comfortable, distraction free, then it could be a potential banger. There's only one way to find out. Oh, wow. That was an exact QA check pass right there.
Bobby made the beat.
Bro, this straight up looks like a nursing home shoe from this angle. It's something about the curvature of the toe box here. I'm sure it's great for wide feet, but I might pull up with the walker with the bust down tennis ball mods on the bottom, sliding through in my Ghost Max 3, ready for my afternoon tea. My sweats and my comfy socks, but I'm just gonna try these on anyway. Then I'll go inside and change. It's cool out here, man. It's nice. It's just crazy because last week I was still getting attacked by the mosquitoes, and now I have my Max Cushion Gang hoodie on. And we also have a new hoodie coming for the fall collection, but I can't wear that. We get all this cool stuff, right? And Barrett designed this beautiful white crew neck, which you've seen, the one with the green supple running on the front. But I can't wear any of that in my actual daily life in the morning because my kids are eating yogurt, they're eating peanut butter, and then they just wipe their hands all over me. So I have to wear the older stuff. Even this Max Cushion Gang hoodie, I only recently started wearing it around my children because I know if I wear it near them, it will get destroyed. But now this is old news because we have the new stuff coming. I do want to do a reissue of the Max Cushion Gang hoodie at some point. But yeah, stepping into this, dude, so comfortable, man. That's what this thing is all about. Now I'm remembering why I loved the Ghost Max OG so much. And whoa, you hear that? Is that the rubber? It's squeaky. Yeah, it's not the most exciting foam, but supercritical EVA is just a great comfort foam. So no, this is not the Mega Blast. This is not the Vomero Plus, but such a comfortable step-in feel. And I have my thicker socks on right now. I'm going to go change, but I just wanted to do this outside. before I do that. Wow. Yeah, so this is what you're paying for with the Ghost Max 3. This completely saved it from being mid. This has to go into the solid category at least, because you have to think about the intended purpose of this shoe. It is not just to be a 20-mile long-run training shoe for marathons. No, that's the opposite of what it's trying to do. It's trying to be a shoe you could do 30-minute jogs in, 45-minute jogs, hour-long runs, maybe 90-minute runs max, but extremely capable shoe for everyday use, extremely comfortable, and that's what I'm getting right here. One of these shoes that just, as soon as I step into it, it takes the burden all the way off my legs. And I thought this was nursing home core, but it's kind of clean. This is actually kind of clean. I like it now. Bro, this dad drip. Let's do a walk test. Yeah, dude, right off the bat here, this reminds me of what I liked about the OG, the geometry, the softness of the foam. I don't know if they've maybe softened it up slightly, but awesome when it comes to comfort. So, again, not the most exciting shoe. I don't know how I'm going to love it for running. I have a lot of max cushion shoes that I already love for running. This might be a one and done shoe for me personally when it comes to running, just because I do have access to all the other stuff. But for walking, for standing, if you're a restaurant worker or a hospital employee, this is a banger. Out of the box, it very much feels like the OG, everything I loved about that. Similar to the Bondi, but I know some people have fit issues with the Hoka. I don't think you're going to have any fit issues with this, man. I'm telling you, I'm in my thickest socks. These are some smart wool socks. I didn't change just because I was being lazy, I guess, but feels perfect. With these socks on, no weird spots, tons of room in the front. The upper just cinches down perfectly. And this is another great test. It's smooth. It doesn't have any bunching. If you remember the Mega Blast when I did that first run review, there was some bunching on the upper. And I was telling you that's the sign of something being slightly off with the upper. And it turns out on the Mega Blast, the upper is really the one issue. So no issues with the upper here. Extremely comfortable. It's just dialed in and refined, man. This might be a banger. This might be a banger. All right. Plan for this morning's run, 10 miles recovery run. I need to let the body recover. I've been trashing and smashing my body, so gonna let it recover. I'll do a bigger workout later this week. That's the perfect run for me to test these guys. Nice, relaxed 10-mile run. Take about, 70 to 90 minutes, somewhere in there. Good time on feet. Should expose any potential issues, and then we can come back and I'll let you know how it went. So with that, I'm going to go change, and then we can get these miles in. Oh, man. Absolute chaos at the shoe market today. Put the call in and send the country boys in the overalls. That's what Boldy James said. It's on the fall playlist. Also got my fall shirt on. I'm actually running with the t-shirt today. Look at this. That's crazy. I think shirtless season is coming to an end. The thing is the afternoons, though. That's how they get you out here, because you think the summer's done and the afternoons is still 80. And then it's just annoying. It's this deep sense of annoyance of, man, I thought the summer was done and it's still warm. All right, Ghost Max 3 here. Early overreaction, solid. This is basically what I could have hoped for. Smooth, Goldilocks zone, midsole, really nice geometry. Maybe a touch softer than the 2. It does feel slightly different, like it's in between the OG and the 2. I like it, man. Yeah, as I said before, there are very few bad shoes out there. There's some bad deals at MSRP, but very few truly miserable shoes once you start paying 140 plus. Yeah, this feels just very smooth, reliable, stable, great cushion, absence of anything bothersome. Also, when I changed into my running socks, I had to crank down the laces tighter. So very wide foot friendly. Yeah, I'm not going to be setting any mile PRs in this thing, but in terms of the intended purpose, I don't know. It could be. I'm not going to say it, but in terms of the intended purpose, what this shoe is designed to do, this is feeling great so far. Just jogging along on beat up legs. Really nice ride. It's a comfort killer. We just have to see how this foam holds up for an hour plus. Also, I'm wearing the $7 Adidas shorts I was talking about yesterday. They just get the job done. That's the dirty secret about running gear. 90% of it is the exact same. Barefoot Mafia sighting. Yeah, definitely not a mega blast to the face, but we're jogging along here. It's comfortable. I'm not mad at it at all. Yeah, last week was supposed to be my recovery week. And then I eked out another really solid week of training with a 14-mile tempo. This week might be the one where I'm paying back that debt. We'll see. Yeah, mile one, 9:03. Gosh, man. I don't run very many 9-minute miles. That means I need to recover. Man, I hate these heart rate monitors. I just had a moment of panic because my heart rate was 140 at a 9-minute pace, but then I cranked it tight and it's down where it should be. Okay. Yeah, back at 116. That's the thing though, if you're overtraining, which is it's a real danger, or under recovered, that heart rate does jack up. And of course, if I go 25-mile long run, I do get nervous sometimes. I do. Did I push it too much? Nah, we're mobbing. Man, this shoe is like a high-level backup quarterback in the NFL. It's like the Brian Hoyer of running shoes. It's not going to be my first choice for anything, but extremely capable. Can just come in a pinch, and you can rely on it. You know what I was thinking about the other day too? Being a dad is like being a backup quarterback. You know why? Because if the starting quarterback is healthy, ready to play, bro, they're gonna be in there. But if you're a dad, sometimes like the backup quarterback, oh, mommy's not there, you gotta step in. But everyone's waiting for mommy to get back. Like if Mahomes isn't playing, and who was that backup for a while? I don't even know who the Chiefs backup is now. Is it Carson Wentz? No, Chase Daniel. Was that who it was?
forget who the Chiefs backup is or was. Chase Daniel's retired now. But say it's Chase Daniel. He's in the game. No matter how he's cooking, he could have a 7 touchdown game and nobody's gonna say, man, we gotta keep him in there. No, you're just in there keeping the seat warm, keeping everything going. That's how it is as a dad, man. You just gotta be ready at all times and don't mess anything up. That's your job as a father. Don't get it twisted. You're not the superstar here. Mommy is the superstar. Don't try to take the spotlight. Don't try to do too much. Just do not throw an interception. That's your number one job as a father of young children. Mile 2, 8:40 per mile pace. Yeah, that smoothness in the roll is really coming through here. It's just a pleasant shoe to run in. I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. And especially coming off the Mega Blast, I think anything could have been a massive disappointment. This is not a disappointment. This is better than I thought. And I did run in the Vomero Plus yesterday for my double, so I'm not coming immediately off the Mega Blast. I had a palate cleanser between. Man, somebody accused me of lying about the 100-mile week in the Mega Blast. And I know people say don't respond to the haters and whatever, but it just made me think, how low does your faith have to be in humans or in the internet, or how skeptical and paranoid and distrustful do you have to be to think somebody would lie about something so random and arbitrary as the mileage for a shoe review? I don't know, man. Stuff just bums me out. Also, I got the receipts. It's all on Strava, little boy. Sit down. Actually, you know what? Stand up, because I guarantee whoever wrote that was sitting down. And they probably have been sitting for a long time. So stand up, stretch your legs, get some oxygen circulating, take a walk, and don't check my mileage, check your resting heart rate. Probably higher than my weekly mileage. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry, man. I gotta punch back. You know, I can't just let anonymous clowns have the last word. So sometimes I just gotta do it. I'm sorry. But keep it positive. I'm smiling. We got the new merch. Look at that. Supple Running, the mileage company. The back is pretty fire too. I don't think you could even see it. I need to get someone to film me. I might ask the next person. See if they could film me around. Can you see the back? I get injured. After the 130-mile weeks, I'm gonna get injured trying to film my back. No, what always gets me though is not the initial comment, it's the people liking it. Who sees that and is, oh yeah, I'm gonna like this comment about this guy. He's definitely lying about his mileage. Let me like this. I like this. Or when we make a mistake on the Instagram, someone says, it should be DNA Loft Foam, not Light Strike Pro, which is clearly a typo. 56 likes. Oh yeah, I like that they made a mistake. I like it. That's what gets me. It always makes me scratch my head. Why are we liking the negativity? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So speaking of the Mega Blast though, one of the things that made that shoe so good for me in a way that the Super Blast was not, was the geometry. And what geometry is the shape of the foam on the bottom, the curvature of it. Oh man, I'm going up a huge hill here. Why do we have to talk about geometry on the hill? But yeah, geometry here is also great. So smooth, just transitions you right to the front easily. Really nice. So while the foam here is not exciting, maybe even outdated, especially when it comes to that weight to stack height ratio, the geometry saves it. This is a perfect daily trainer geometry right here. I just hit mile 3 in the Ghost Max. No, doesn't hit the same. Doesn't hit the same. That Mega Blast song, that might get Grammy nominated. The people are already saying. A lot of people out there, they're talking about the Cream line. They're saying that's one of the best lines of the year. Dropped a 100-mile week in the Mega Blast. I just made a hater tweak in the Mega Blast. I got a company offsite in a few weeks. I was thinking about pulling up to the corporate retreat in the Mega Blast. Talking about Q3 in the Mega Blast. Now this run is making me realize why I never minded the weight. I feel like minded shouldn't be the past tense. It should be mount. Minded mound. I never minded, never mound. Never mind. Yeah, I never was bothered by the weight of this shoe because of how protective it is. It is just so dense, but it doesn't feel heavy. It really doesn't feel heavy on foot, and my legs are trashed. I'm running 840, 850. I ran a 9-minute mile, which I never do on morning runs. 9 minutes I usually only run on doubles when I'm beat up or with the stroller. So legs are smashed, and this is just feeling so easy to turn over. So this is a step above solid for sure. And again, you have to think about the category. No, I'm not gonna pick this over the Mega Blast. I'm not gonna pick this over the Glizzy Max, but for the price and what it's trying to do, it's great. So almost at mile 4 here. I call the 4-mile mark the basic shoe test, because most people who are looking for a running shoe, they're really gonna be running up to 30 minutes, especially with a shoe like this. Mostly designed to be a do-it-all walking athletic shoe, and running, jogging 30, 45 minutes passes that test. Yeah, this is a crowd pleaser type of shoe for someone who just wants an all-purpose training shoe, or really not even training shoe, but all-purpose running shoe. Man, I'm crawling today. Mile 5, 8:31. Tuesday after a hard long run on Sunday, almost always the hardest day of the week, because that's when the DOM sets in. That's when I'm the sorest, most fatigued. So we just gotta get over this hump here. Halfway through the run though. It's crazy that this is my 3rd generation of the Ghost Max, and 4th if you count the SE. Man, if you could make it in the shoe tube game for 3 generations, you have longevity. It's like making it to the top of Everest. You know, it's just scattered. That's what I learned recently. That mountain is just scattered with bodies up there because of how hard it is to climb. And man, a lot of people can do one shoe review. Maybe you make it through 2 generations. But when you're on year 2, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 months in the game, you got 2,000 followers or 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, just grinding it out, toiling in the purgatory of stack, can you keep climbing? Can you keep investing your own money? Or if you're gonna get the shoes from the brands, which is fine, go ahead, can you stay on that email grind? Email Clarissa from Brooks. Hey, excuse me, Clarissa, did you forget about me? I would really like to have the Hyperion 3 and the Ghost Max 3. Email Sarah from Nike. Can you stay on that grind? Don't forget about Veronica from the PR company who manages the relationships with both Hoka and Solomon. Bro, you gotta stay on that grind if you want to make it. Are you gonna chase the new shoes? All right, you gotta spend every weekend stopping at every local run store. You gotta spend every spare second of your day on the Supwell app, just refreshing and refreshing. Oh, did somebody post a link to Renegade Running, to Oklahoma City local nonprofit run store, because they have the new Edge Harlem in stock. You gotta stay on that grind, brother. You want to make it in this game, in the shoe tube game, better stay up on that grind. I'm an OG now. 4 generations of the Ghost Max. Don't play with me. Bro, I probably dropped a Camry on some running shoes. I could feed a family with these running shoes. Morgan Stanley? Nah, running shoes. Tell them get their jammies, because they're sleeping on me in my running shoes. Mile 6. It's just such a nice ride. Very pleasant. It's just weird how light it feels. I mean, even compared to the Mega Blast. This doesn't feel lighter than the Mega Blast or anything, but I was expecting this to feel like a big bulky shoe. It does not. I think it's because the weight is evenly distributed with all the padding in the upper. Because you get a shoe like, man, what was it recently? Oh, the Cloud Brick. The upper was super lightweight, and then it had the race foam up top, the training foam on the bottom. So it was just so bottom heavy. I think that's about the same weight as this, but it was not evenly distributed at all. And then the geometry was weird too. So yeah, the weight distribution from the upper and the padding and everything means that it's not just the midsole with all the heft. This is appropriately thick. One thing that bothers me about the internet, it's not just the anonymity, but it's the fact that you can just say anything. And these people libeling and slandering me about the mileage. And that's just a very small example. It happens all the time, especially now with these AI generated things. Another small example, but so over the summer, Stephon Diggs, a wide receiver from the Patriots, was caught on camera with an illicit substance partying on a boat. Now, the issue was resolved, whatever, the team took care of it. But there was this video circulating of the coach of the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, saying, Stephon Diggs should be able to do whatever he wants. You guys are being soft. Let him party. Something along those lines. That was AI generated. A coach would never say anything like that, right? But there's no accountability for that. And especially with some of the looter and crasser things that can be done with AI. And what's dangerous is that people might not know it's AI. I've seen some things where until I look at the comments, it's not immediately clear that something is AI generated. And I grew up with the internet, and I was an adult when this stuff came around. So that's what's scary to me, man, the lack of accountability. And once you see something, even if you know that it's fake, that association is in your brain. And that's the dangerous part as well. If you see a picture of somebody doing something that's not real, if you see an article that's not true, but it says somebody did something, you can't erase that association from your brain. It's always going to be there, even if you logically know it didn't happen. So what I'm saying is, if you're slandering me in the comments, watch out. Might have to call up Elizabeth Warren, send the federal watchdogs to your mama's basement. Oh, you hear them right there? They're hungry. They're hungry for some couch potatoes. Mile 7, 8:25. I'm just an emotional guy, man. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I cry with tears of joy from the supporters. The 3,000 Club, and I've been saying it, man, thank you. And I seethe with the wrath of the 7 seas in a tumultuous tempest of a sea raging storm at the people who detract. And it's the same thing. When we have the greatest running shoe of all time come through, I'm gonna say bang. We're running it dang near every day for a week. And when we have bricks come through, I'm gonna let you know as well. It's the yin and the yang. You can't have one without the other. I'm only spitting facts in the Ghost Max. They brought the beast back in the Ghost Max. I'm gonna get a hater whacked in the Ghost Max. Out here looking like a snack in the Ghost Max. Mile 8, up the giant hill, 8:35 pace. Nice recovery pace today. 3 minutes per mile slower than my goal race pace for the marathon. It doesn't matter. Just getting out here bopping. On days like this, no pace target. You just settle into what the body wants to do. This is how I'm able to run so many miles. Don't push it. Yeah, this is basically perfect execution for what they're trying to do. It's not particularly soft or bouncy or fast, but it doesn't need to be. Not everything needs to be. This has a very defined place as that no-nonsense comfort shoe, and it's a banger for that. It really is. Am I gonna go run a 22 miler? No, that's not what it's designed to do. If I were a Brooks sponsored athlete though, I'd be more than happy to use this as my workhorse daily, as an alternative to the Glizzy Max. Right, a normal shoe as an alternative to the Hyperion Max 3. So, man, really nice job with this update. I just saw a woman out here running in a bandit hat. In the burbs, in Mint Hill, in a bandit hat. Oh, bandit hat. Gotta get that lady a hobby jogger hat. They had to bring the trucks out after what we did to all this mileage. Disaster relief. The streets are begging for mercy. Stop it with all this mileage. You're killing me. I'm pushing to 12 miles here. I'm actually feeling okay now. I'm feeling better deep into this run than I was at the beginning. But there was a great passage in Lore of Running, which I'm reading, by Tim Noakes. I think it first came out in the 90s, but it's about the mental side of running and how some people are so laser focused on the physical, which is what I always talk about, and it's so validating to see these things written down sometimes by other people. But man, the VO2 max, the heart rate, the pursuit of the perfect workout, that stuff is good, but you gotta want it. You gotta feed the beast. You gotta come out here and drop 12 on tired legs when you're not feeling it. For me, that's what gives me the edge I need. Just knowing I'm doing everything. Emptying that tank, refilling it, and then emptying it again. Hey, Reeves, he's putting in work. Man, he needs it. He was up from 145 to 4 or something. I need to get his mileage up. I think that's what Charles is trying to do. It's just a relentless drive. He has it in him. It's tough in a 3-year-old though, because they can't get the mileage. They can't wear themselves out. So you gotta find creative ways to do it. What's up, bud? Hey! Look at that! Look at him go! Wow! Dude, that's awesome! That's crazy. You just taught him right now? Or he just...
He got it. He's been practicing a lot.
That's fire. What the?
He's like running too.
That was super good! High five. Bro, that was fire.
You don't need to push, just put your feet on. You're downhill, go. He likes when I started.
Yeah, okay. What's it?
But he was
I can't pick you up, I'm super sweaty. Hey, Aero Goat Gravel. These?
Yeah.
Really solid.
Oh, you got me.
That's probably the... Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go up. Man, the walking in these, even better, even more comfortable. It's just such a comfortable shoe. What's that? Yeah, that was super good. I can show you later when I'm editing it, okay? What's that? Yeah. I did. I'll put it in your room, okay? I know. I have another reason to get new shoes now because he started a train. We built a train with all the boxes. So now he just wants me to buy more shoes so he can have the boxes. So you can thank Reevesy for this review. Another one! I don't even know what that is. I may know what it is. I may, or I may not. And his truck is here. Reevesy! Alright, really solid run right there. Nice recovery effort. 12 miles. Not feeling particularly strong, but sometimes I start feeling stronger an hour in, 90 minutes in. It's the weirdest thing. And with the tempo runs too. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles in is where I really found my groove. But that was 12 miles, 1 hour, 44 minutes, 6 seconds, 8:34 pace, 124 average heart rate. So very relaxed, perfect running weather out there, and a really nice shoe, man. No nonsense. That's what keeps coming to my mind. Just a solid workhorse cruiser. A lot of people are going to like this shoe, and it's one of the shoes that will work well for a lot of people. Now, if you're the type of person who has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shoes, this shoe is not for you unless you're looking for a very comfortable walking shoe. But this is really designed for the person who wants one shoe for casual use, for jogging, taking out the trash, walking the dog, just a no-nonsense shoe. That's what this is. And the bonus is it can actually put in some work too. 12-mile run, hour, 45 minutes. That's no joke. And this handled it extremely capably. So I've been sleeping on this, man. I've been sleeping on the Ghost Max 3. It's not a Mega Blast. It's not a Hyperion Max 3. But we always have to remember the intended purpose. And for the intended purpose of this shoe, it is a 10 out of 10. Flawless execution. Yo, they don't make trap songs like this anymore, man. A lot of people think Codeine Crazy is Future's best song. No. It's a really good song, but what his best song is, Lil Haiti Baby. 3 verses on there. People don't do that. How long is this? It's got to be 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Yeah. 4 minutes and 36 seconds of greatness. People don't make songs like that anymore. I think it's actually 4:37. Yeah. There's no long trap songs like that. They're now all 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. People will have a 90-second song now, and that's okay. But Lil Haiti Baby, the pain in his voice, the delivery, the way he's just wailing on the track, you can hear it. Guttural, shoot in broad day, shoot in broad day. It's crazy. And Codeine Crazy is up there too. And that's the one that's widely considered to be his best song. But Lil Haiti Baby to me is on the same level. Also, the beat hits harder. I'm just a fan of the more aggressive stuff when it comes to the rap music, and the beat just hits harder on that one. You can hear the pain, you can hear the struggle, you can hear the grind. Great song, man. Lil Haiti Baby, that's a top Future song right there. So we got the Ghost Max 3 today. Let me get one thing out of the way before we even start. This is not the Mega Blast. No, it's not the Mega Blast. And it was hard. What am I supposed to do? I ran in the Mega Blast 100 miles, 7 days, calling it the greatest running shoe ever created, my new favorite shoe. I was just so happy running in that thing. And it's nice for me as a reviewer because, man, I have this channel. I'm training for the sub 2:30 marathon, and I make the daily videos. So sometimes it's hard to figure out what to run in because I have to do a workout, and it's okay. I want to just run in the Alpha Fly for this workout, but how many videos have I made on the Alpha Fly at this point? So I have to find something different where I can actually have a unique take on a shoe or do a test on a shoe, and I don't like doing comparisons all the time. So then it's okay, what do I run on? No, that was just completely eliminated. I was just running in the Mega Blast every day, and the video topics were just clear. Super Blast comparison, long run test. I threw one list in there, and then the 100-mile review. So that was really nice. It was easy for me because I didn't have to think about it. Now, I was feeling sad last night. It's almost like, you know, when you run a marathon or a half marathon and then you get slightly depressed after. It's not a serious clinical depression, but just, oh, well, I was just working for the last 4 months toward this goal, or maybe longer, and now it's done. I can't really run any hard workouts for at least 2 weeks. I have nothing to organize my mornings around now. Okay, well, so that's how it was. Last night I was, okay, I finished the Mega Blast. We got that up to 100 miles quickly. What do I run in now? But I picked this up yesterday. Reevesy just begging me to go to Dick's Sporting Goods. He was also calling it Diospidocious. He was having trouble saying Dick's Sporting Goods. He really wanted to get more boxes for his train, so we went to Dick's Sporting Goods. I got this, I got another shoe, and I'm back on the new shoe train. And the thing is, it's really important to me that I test everything. I've talked about Dr. Reyes before, right? My Latin teacher back in high school. He said, you read the good books and the bad. And this is not a bad shoe, but we have to run in the exciting shoes. We have to run in the fast R3s with the aliphatic TPUs and the most efficient shoes of all time. And we have to run in the normal standard shoes. If I don't, I'm not going to be the best analyst possible. I'm not going to be able to give you the best insights and tell you how everything compares if I'm only used to running in the shoes with the bountiest foams and the craziest rockers. And I'm not here just to do that. This channel and what I'm doing with Supple is to be a resource, like I was saying at the beginning of the video. So we have the Ghost Max 3. This is designed to be a normal, standard, everyday running shoe. It's got a super critical EVA foam here. One of my favorite training foams, actually. And this run today reminded me why it is just simple, reliable, decent bounce once you get it going. And particularly with this application here, the stack height is just perfect. The weight is just perfect, and the geometry is perfect. So this is a completely dialed shoe. Brooks nailed it with the execution. It's not particularly impressive or lightweight on paper, but once you come out here and actually run in it, it's everything that you could want. So if we throw up this run today, I went 12 miles at, what was it, an 8:30 or an 8:40 pace. Very relaxed recovery pace. I have been piling on the mileage recently. We are hunting down the mileage because I'm trying to hit this sub 230 PR right now. So I've been hitting 130 mile weeks. Plus, I think I'm averaging 130 something over the past 4 weeks, which is high. So some days are like today, nice, relaxed recovery. And this was really nice for it. It was easy to turn over the legs. The protection is great. It doesn't feel the most lightweight shoe, but it also doesn't feel bulky, which was nice. So who should buy this shoe? If you are looking for something that is extremely
reliable, stable, and will get out of the way, this is the shoe for you. If you want the latest and greatest, the most exciting, if you want the fastest, if you want the softest, that's not it. But for me, I kept thinking about, man, there's certain areas of my life, phone, for example. I mean, take a look at this thing. This is my iPhone from 2022. You've seen me probably if you watch this channel. It is all cracked up. It has the stock Apple case, which is absolutely terrible. Please don't buy these stock Apple cases. It's falling apart, but guess what? It takes pictures. I can listen to music on it. I can connect it to the car. I actually can't connect it to the car. It doesn't even charge anymore with the port. I have to put it on the wireless charger, and my Jeep doesn't have the wireless charger because it's older than that. I think my Jeep is 2020 or something. I only started putting the wireless chargers in 2021. So it can connect to Bluetooth from my car. I can listen to the music on the treadmill. I can listen to music around the house. It can take pictures. It can connect to the internet. I can respond to email and comments. That is all I care about. The reliability. Now recently, over the last month, after I had to do the software update so that I could install the Brevo app to get into the gym with the wireless Bluetooth key card, the battery life started being really bad. 4 hours or 5 hours now, and I actually have the wireless charger. I put it in the kitchen so I can just always be charging my phone, which is not great. But this is the only time where I've started to think, the reliability isn't there, so maybe I should upgrade. But for me, that's what matters. I don't care about the speed of my phone. If it takes 10 seconds for my email to load, I really don't care. It doesn't bother me that much. I don't care about having the fastest chip processor. I don't care about having the most megapixels on the camera. All I care about is that the camera actually works. Same thing with this camera actually here. And by the way, I apologize for the wind. Yesterday it was super windy and the mic muffler was askance. And what are you gonna do, right? I didn't discover that till later in the day. Am I gonna go out and refilm again in the dark? No, sometimes we have to. There's this Freddie Gibb lines in Skinny Shook. No brothers taught me how to cook. I had to mess up my own batch. Sometimes we have to make these mistakes. And with going daily and grinding it out, we make mistakes. I apologize to the daily listeners out there. I want to improve the quality and not have terrible quality audio, but sometimes it happens, and those are the little things that I care about. I just want it to be reliable. With this camera, I haven't upgraded it, even though it's from 2018 or 2019, because it just works. Now, the days where sometimes I'll turn it on 30 times and it actually won't go, that's the only time I think about upgrading. But the fact that this footage is in 1080p, I don't care, and I don't think most of the people who connect with the content, the media, I'm trying to get away from that word, but I don't think most of the people who connect with the media and the stuff that we put out on this channel care about a 4K type of quality or visual quality, right? So this is not the 4K fastest chip processing speed running shoe. That would be the Fast R3, and there's some areas of my life where I am interested in that, right? If I'm going for the marathon time of a 227, 228, 229, a sub 230, I want the fastest possible technology. But for someone who wants reliability, comfort, no nonsense, bang. And the other thing with going for the latest cutting edge products, whether it's an iPhone or a MacBook or a car, there's a higher chance of it being messed up. Fast R3, for example, people are saying there's some durability issues. The 4-foot foam is getting too mushy. In the plate up in the front, there's some weirdness with the ride. It is very much a fast and aggressive shoe. No weirdness with this thing. Absolute tank, man. I really enjoyed this run, and I'm surprised because I was coming off the Mega Blast, which, yeah, that's the most innovative thing, but it also, the reason I liked it so much, felt surprisingly normal. And it felt like a daily trainer, and it also had that no-nonsense quality. But this is a pure no-nonsense shoe. Comfort in the sense of it is the absence of anything bothersome. You get a nice and wide toe box. You get a great padded tongue here, nice padding around the back. And one of the things I was saying out there as well, the weight is evenly distributed. So sometimes you can have a shoe that's the same weight as this, like the Hoka Skyward X or the On Cloud Brick Mid. Now the Skyward X is a shoe that I really like. The Cloud Brick Mid is a shoe that I don't like, but both of those shoes can feel bottom heavy because there's just a lot of foam on the bottom and the uppers are trying to be lightweight. In the Skyward X, you get a wild bounce, so it outweighs it, but it still does have this chunkier feel on the bottom. With the Cloud Brick, that was just terrible because it has a lot of density on the bottom without there being much on the top for it to feel rounded out. So it's on the heavy end, and then the bottom has a lot of foam and weight. With this guy, it's nice and distributed. It does not feel bottom heavy, and maybe that's also because the stack is on the lower side for what's considered max cushion in 2025. So this measured in at, what was it, 37 millimeters, so not a low shoe at all. Felt plenty protective enough. I went almost 2 hours today, which for most people buying this shoe, this is likely, I went 1 hour 44 minutes. That's likely the max you're gonna wanna go in this. And if you're doing 2-hour runs, 2.5-hour runs, that's when I would suggest upgrading into something else. But if you're going 90 minutes max, you want a comfortable shoe for bopping around town, you want something that's not gonna bother you. If you have foot issues, plantar, or just anything, I always laugh when I say plantar fasciitis. If you have any foot issues, or you wanna put an orthotic in the shoe, or you just uppers bother your foot, that's exactly what this is for, man. Just no nonsense, nothing wrong with it, flawless execution. And I really like these shoes that are just, man, they're not the most exciting, but they get the job done. So another Warren Buffett certified banger. Yes, it's a banger for what it is, man. And that's why Warren Buffett is, what do they call him, the Oracle of Omaha. He's a no-nonsense guy. That's why he bought shares in Brooks. And I love a shoe like this coming from Brooks, because this is their DNA. This is their heritage. They're not the most exciting brand. They have put out some nice, exciting shoes, but reliable comfort in a package that's gonna work well for a lot of people. That's what this is. So let's close it out with those 3 questions we always ask and answer in the first round reviews. First, how does this do versus its intended purpose? This is designed to be a daily trainer, a more cushioned everyday running shoe, and have the versatility to be used for walking and casual use. It knocks it out of the park, because not only is it a really solid shoe for doing the 12 miles, man, when I stopped here and I was seeing Reevesy biking, and by the way, that was the first time I ever saw him biking. So it's so cool to see Reevesy biking. And he also said this morning he wants to work with me. He said he wants me to train him up. So we got to get him the reps. Maybe we'll start Supwell biking soon, or we'll just have him be an intern for the channel. We got to keep the family business going. That's why I'm not accepting any VC money, man. I'd rather own this thing 100%, do whatever I want with it, make sure we got the team eating good. And by the way, the Instagram is so cool to see that going off right now, because Barrett and Grant have just been putting in so much work, and they have really just built it into a beast. And I'm there to support it. And of course, it's my vision. Some of it is my vision, but them two together have just been killing it. So that is so cool to see. And of course, Meredith on the website doing the database and everything is cool to see as well. And again, no VC money. That's part of my vision with this, just being able to build it independently so that we don't have to answer to anybody. And I could be out here saying shenanigans, forget these brothers in the Mega Blast. Anyway, seeing Reevesy biking here was just making me think, that's exactly what I would use this shoe for. If I'm taking the kids out to go bike, maybe I'll jog a few miles at the Greenway, and then we're gonna walk and go to the park. This is a perfect shoe for that. That's exactly what the Ghost Max OG was for me. And this feels just more similar to the OG. I don't know what they've done with this foam, but something about the two just never reached the same levels of comfort. Didn't have the same exact step-in feel. It felt firmer. This is not a soft shoe. Definitely not a soft shoe at all. If you want soft, you can get the Neo Zen, you can get the 1080, you can get the Neo Vista. 1080 is not a particularly bouncy shoe. Regardless, this is not a soft shoe, but it's just perfect for me. And I think a lot of people will find it right in that Goldilocks zone, where it has the cushion, but it doesn't feel particularly soft and firm, and it's not gonna feel mushy. I think even if you're 200 plus pounds, so I'm 6'2", 155, even if you're 200 plus pounds, 220, 250, I think this is still gonna feel nice and supportive for you. That was the same thing with the OG and the two bigger runner workhorse champs. So this is retaining all of that DNA. Now, question number 2, how does it compare to the other shoes in the category? So we can put it up against the Nimbus, we can put it up against the Bondi, we can put it up against the Vomero 18, the Vomero Plus. So versus the Nimbus, that is a much softer shoe. Nimbus is still a shoe that I really like a lot. That's probably my favorite out of the category. And this doesn't have anything in it that's elevating it above from a running ride experience, but I really did enjoy today having a different feel that was no nonsense. So if you have a lot of softer max cushion shoes and you want something different, that's when you'd get this. Or if you don't like the softer max cushion shoes, that's when you get this. Or if you don't like an aggressive rocker, or you don't want a plate or anything weird, that's when you get this. So totally normal shoe versus the Bondi two very similar shoes. That one has more of an aggressive rocker and is maybe a touch firmer. Also feels a bit heavier. It is a tiny bit heavier on paper. This one just feels very easy to turn over. I was surprised at the weight. So out of those shoes, probably the most normal feeling, the least technologically advanced, but just a very reliable piece of equipment for walking or running. Now, question number 3, how does this compare to everything else on the market? This is not a fast shoe at all. So if you're looking for a versatile shoe that can do a lot of faster work, oh, this is Reezy. What's up, bud? What's up? Can you go up? I need to finish filming. Versus everything else on the market, not a fast shoe at all. So if you want any speed capability, I would not get this. The Salomon Aero Goat, aka the Aero Glide 3, much better $160 daily trainer. If you want something with some pep to it, there's also shoes like the Asics Nova Blast 5 that are bouncier. Adidas Evo SL if you want a pure speed shoe. Adidas Adi Zero SL2, Hoka Mach 6. And by the way, the other thing I was going to say is going into Dick's Sporting Goods, which is where I got this, you can always find discounted Bondis, Mach 6. I saw the Bondi there for $135. It was a Mach 6 for $110. I think they had discounted 1080, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Of course, the app, Supple app, is great, but if you're in a pinch or you just want to get something new in person, Dick's Sporting Goods. But yeah, this is not a fast shoe. Mach 6 would be a better speed-oriented daily trainer. Even something like the Rebel if you're a lightweight runner, although I do not recommend that shoe. But point being, this is more about reliable comfort. So that's really, I wouldn't even call it the downside, but just the reality of the shoe. It's like the Fast R3 or the Sky Tokyo. That's not a comfortable daily trainer. It's just about what it is designed to do. So if you're looking for speed in your everyday shoe and you're the type of person who wants 1 or 2 shoes, I wouldn't get this. This is really for someone who wants reliable comfort. If you want a nice run walk option or a jogging option, going to the gym option, absolute banger for what it is. Great stability. This rubber should hold up well. Nice wide base. No nonsense shoe. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up right here. So if you're looking at the 3 because you had the 2, I think you'll like this. If you had the OG, I think you'll like this. If you want something super soft and cushioned, this is not going to be the choice. You can get the Brooks Glycerin Max for some more excitement. That's not super soft either, but definitely has just more of this exciting, peppy feel. I would go for the Nimbus. They also had Nimbuses at Dick's Sporting Goods as well for $135, and I would get that over this if you want more of a soft, rolling feel. This is really about the smooth comfort for just getting the job done. So, really awesome shoe. I'll put this in the just solid to really good territory. It's not a transcendent shoe. Maybe we even put it in the banger camp because it is a banger for what it is, but just versus the daily trainer category is at large, it's really going to depend on what you are looking for out of your daily shoe. Now, for me, if I want something for a recovery run and I just want it to get out of the way and let me jog along, that's a banger. If I want something for some days where I'm going to be doing strides and pushing the pace, not a banger. So it really depends on what you're looking for, but great shoe. The QA check was perfect, by the way. The stack height was identical. The weight on the scale, I think, was 0.1 or 0.2 difference. So just awesome shoe. Thumbs up. I'll give this an A. This is an A for what it is. I don't mind that they increased the price $10. I don't love it, but that's the reality. That's the reality. The prices are going to have to go up, and it does feel like an overall, just a very solid built shoe. So thumbs up. Great job, Brooks. Great job, Warren Buffett. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Balling on them daily. Feel like Carly Rae Jepsen. Call me maybe. Ooh, this running warehouse package. All I can say is very light. It's very light. One more thing. This is the lunch today. It's not glorious. It's the definition of a sad boy lunch, but it's too funny not to share. It reminds me of the chop suey. Anyone remember chop suey? Man, that's a New England classic. That's a Massachusetts public school lunch classic. It's just penne with the red sauce. I put some vegan ground beef in here. It's not glorious. It's just leftovers with the peas. Getting on the chop suey.